Day 2 of the NFL draft is in the books. The Broncos only had one selection in round 3 with pick 76. They selected Jonah Elliss, edge rusher out of Utah. So I'm going to give you my grade for this pick. We're going to get you guys up to speed on Ellis and the entire Broncos draft so far, which only has 2 members. But my grade for the Jonah Elliss selection is an A. I'm a big fan of Jonah Elliss. I had him 4th on my big board at the edge rusher position, only behind Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, and Laiatu Latu. I think Ellis is an absolute steal and the gem of the draft. There's a lot to like about his game. He's by far not a finished product, but I can tell you what, the biggest concerns when you look at his scouting reports, it has nothing to do with a lack of speed. He's got one of the best first steps in the draft. 6'2", 248 pounds, and when you watch the tape, you just see how explosive he is off the line of scrimmage. Now, his fallback is he doesn't have the greatest amount of strength. He may not have a very deep arsenal of pass rushing moves, and he relies on his speed, which can work against college tackles, but not against NFL tackles. But this is why I'm pretty upbeat about Jonah Elliss. Last year for the Utes, 37 tackles, 12 sacks, 3 pass breakups. Now, when I see 12 sacks and I see him going around 3, alarm bells start going off. Why did he fall so far? Very productive player. Was he like a 24-year-old, 6-year extra COVID season going up against 19, 20-year-old offensive tackles? No. He was 20 years old last year. So what's the issue? Well, he still has to fill out his frame a little bit, and he doesn't have the greatest amount of strength to set the edge and be dominant against the run. But you know what? For a guy that's 21 years old, I'm willing to bet if he puts the work in, which we get to his family lineage later on, and I think he will, he can really fill out his frame and give him a season or 2, and he's going to be a dominant pass rusher for the Broncos. So grade the pick for me. I give it an A. I'm a big fan of this selection. I bet Denver was jumping up and down when they saw he was still available at pick 76. The Broncos did not have a massive need at edge rusher, but they definitely could use some reinforcements at that position. Jonah Elliss steps in. He joins Baron Browning, Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper, and this Broncos pass rushing unit, it's going to be sneaky good, I think, in 2024. So continue getting your letter grades down below in the comment section. But I'm a fan of this selection from the speed element, the production last year for the Utah Utes. I'm not sold that in year 1 he's going to be a home run guy for Denver. I think there's going to be a lot of time that has to be put into the weight room to fill out his frame a little bit more and add some muscle to his body. But when we get to his genes and his DNA, I've got no concerns that he can accomplish that. Now, we're going to expand on the pick in just a minute in more detail. But first, I do have to fill everyone in about our sponsor today, which is Game Time. If you are looking for the best last-minute deals on the lowest price guaranteed for tickets, download the Game Time app today and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off their first purchase. They're going to have the best deals for all of Broncos country. So if you want to go to a Nuggets game, a Rockies game, an Avs game, any playoff sporting event under the sun, download the Game Time app today and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. I put all that information in the comments and description of today's video. Shout out to Game Time for supporting us here at Chat Sports during the NFL Draft. Game Time. It's the best place to get last-minute seats at the lowest price guaranteed. Now, let's get back to what I was talking about when it comes to Jonah Elliss. His brother, Caden Ellis, is in the NFL right now. He's a linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons. He started his career off with the Saints. His father, Luther Ellis, may ring a bell for some of the older fans. He played a season for Denver back in 2004. In fact, the family lived in Denver for a little bit before moving to Moscow, Idaho, following his dad's work where he was coaching at the time. and he ended up going down to Utah to coach his own son. So super cool story, but his father played 10 seasons plus in the NFL, made a Pro Bowl here and there. His brother's in the NFL. He's got another brother in the NFL, I think. Everyone's in the NFL. So don't you think that when the Ellises get together in the offseason, they're not a bunch of couch potatoes. It's a competitive family, and I think Jonah Elliss, the things he needs to work on are very attainable if he's got the drive to do it. And I'm going to bet on his character that he does. Now, here's what Dane Brugler had to say about the selection and just Elliss in general. Elliss is an inconsistent edge setter in the run game, but he is threatening with his upfield burst motor and skilled with his hands in the pass rush. It is encouraging to think of what he can develop into with a full bag of counters. So let me toss this your way. What is your one-word reaction to the pick? I wasn't over the moon about the Bo Nix selection. I'm not going to hide away from that. There's things I like about Nix, but I've got concerns that gave him a round 2 grade. But this, to me, is an excellent pick by Denver. They could have gone a handful of different directions at this spot. Maybe cornerback, maybe offensive tackle. There's a lot of really good tackles in this draft class. To me, I think they were just elated that Jonah Elliss was still available at pick number 76. And to me, it's a fantastic pick by the Broncos. So now they got to get ready for day 3 of the NFL draft, where they still have a lot of picks remaining. 3 fifth-rounders. I would not be surprised to see them try and bundle some of those fifths to move up into round 4. Maybe go after a cornerback like TJ Tampa from Iowa State. That could be a name to watch for. Or Cam Hart from Notre Dame. Here are some of the best players available. Troy Franklin, he's still available? No, he's not. No way. All right, Troy Franklin, how about that one? TJ Tampa we talked about. Ja'Tavion Sanders, if Denver wants to bring... I can't believe Troy Franklin's still available. If Ja'Tavion Sanders, if the Broncos want to add to their tight end room, that's an option right there. Tez Walker and Javon Baker as well. Jeremiah Trotter, Jared Wiley. Those are 3-4 names that jump out to me. So there are still some really good players left in the draft, and I don't think Denver wants to have 3 picks in round number 5. My gut tells me they want to use one of those picks to move up into round 4. But Jonah Elliss, the pick at 76, the second selection for Denver in the draft, I don't know if he's ever going to amount to being a double-digit sack player year after year, but if you can get similar production to what you've gotten out of like Baron Browning, another third-round pick, to me, that's going to be 4 or 5 maybe years of great football. So huge fan of the Jonah Elliss selection. Now we're going to be live here at Chat Sports for day 3 of the draft. So come hang out with our main channel coverage, but I'll also be providing videos for every single pick that Denver makes in round 3. So reminder, subscribe to the channel. That way you get the best pick-by-pick analysis.